that. It's our come to the equator rainbow.
Join the crew of the Maiatla as we visit the Galapagos Islands. These unique isolated islands have given birth to amazing creatures, birds and plants that you will find nowhere else on the planet, and inspired a young Charles Darwin who created a theory of evolution, and we would never see the world the same again.
Andy's priming the generator. And today is day 6. These are the instruments that do not work. The wind indicator.
But it was the motor that had me worried the most because we had lost that a few days ago due to a faulty fuel pump. Adding to the stress level, we were having problems getting messages out and hadn't made contact in a few days. We didn't want people back home worried.
You try Panama tonight?
I'm going to look up the Panama frequencies.
The good news was that Nick had gotten over his seasickness, thanks to a magic pill.
Day 7. Everything goes well. We're going to be seeing Darwin Island, right?
It wasn't going to be that easy. We had an assortment of winds that couldn't make up their mind which way to blow, but they blew whenever they did, always in the wrong direction.
It's fine. We had a bit of a brutal night tacking back and forth against some stiff currents and some contrary winds, and after all night of sailing, we were probably only about 20 miles further than where we started and only about 4 miles closer to our destination. So it was a hard one, 4 miles, but the wind just shifted to a westerly direction, and we're now pointing almost exactly where we need to go, and we're clipping along at a very wicked 4.7 knots. We're sailing hard on the wind. We got all our sail up, and if this wind holds for us for the next 24 to 48 hours, we'll make a really good dent in our last 234 miles. We're just shy of the Galapagos Islands, 45 miles of Darwin, and the zone extends 40 miles beyond Darwin. So we're almost technically in the park and in the Galapagos Islands.
Right.
This is the one that was denied to us.
Yeah, it was denied to us with the wind and currents, but it's changed. So
The winds had decided there would be no Darwin Island. Instead, we were going straight to San Cristobal, our port of entry.
222 miles to San Cristobal, and I figure I should get some clean underwear happening here.
The boys were missing their wives who were meeting us in San Cristobal. They wanted to be there when the girls arrived to greet them. In these fickle winds, every degree counted. Finally, a short message got out to them, giving them our position. Sleep had become catnaps in the cockpit.
And nobody's killed anybody yet. So what are you working on the outboard?
just mixing up some outboard fuel for when and if we need the engine to help us get into port. Wind seems to be filling in. I can feel some wind coming. We got a squall coming.
There she is.
Yeah, we got another rain squall coming.
And you're hoping that's going to bring you some wind?
I'm hoping it's going to bring me so much wind, we're going to want to know what to do with it all.
So the guys are going to throw a reef in the main.
And they got it. Now it was time to throw another reef in.
had nothing but squalls.
And there it was, our first Galapagos Island,
Pinta.
Isla Pinta.
See if I can zoom in a little closer to Pinta. You don't get to see this island very much. It's sort of on the outskirts and off the beaten track for sure, eh?
Isla Pinta is this tiny little island. It's
is.
only about 23 square miles.
That's about as close
But
as we're
it's
getting.
famous because it's the home of Lonesome George. That is the most famous tortoise in the Galapagos Islands. He was the last tortoise of his species.
15 minutes after you went out to bed, the wind kind of filled in and we took off.
Mark came up to take a look at that sweet, sweet land. Has a sight ever looked sweeter?
It's our first glimpse of the Galapagos Islands, is what you can see.
I'm so happy we got to see that because I was kind of bummed that we were going to pass it at night.
Yeah. Well, they were big islands, right? So.
They are.
And straight ahead, we could see our second island. A few hours later, and we were starting to get worried.
So if this doesn't work, like hardening up, we're going to have to launch the dinghy. Otherwise, we're going to hit that island right over there. We don't want to do that.
Strong currents were taking us towards the island. Without an engine, there was no way to get free, and the wind was certainly not cooperating. This uninhabited island is famous not only for its shipwrecks, but also for several bodies that washed ashore years ago. One of Galapagos' most interesting mysteries. It was Dinghy to the rescue. That 15 horsepower outboard worked its little heart out.
So close. There's the land, but we're having a hard time getting around that island, so we'll see how many more days we're out here. Day 10 and it's blowing a gale. It's 10 days at sea. Now what are we about to do?
We're getting ready to cross the equator.
And then
Gale.
and then what happens? What happens to us?
I don't know what happens to us. Oh, we become shellbacks.
Even Nick has gotten up early. Oh, there's a tired face.
We're approximately half a mile north of the equator in the Galapagos Islands. We're beating up winds in 25-30 knots. It's a very stiff wind. We just sailed through a gale. It's petered out some, so we put some more sail back up to keep the boat driving. We're having a little trouble keeping our course hard in the wind, though, due to the waves, but we're just about ready to turn you guys into shellbacks.
So Nick, totally green, come on board. 10 days at sea.
And he's still totally green. Arr, arr.
Barf, barf.
Barf, barf.
No, we fixed it.
That was mean.
He's not green anymore. We
No.
fixed it.
You did.
Magic pill.
I got fixed. Magic pill. 4 nautical miles to the equator, where the world starts spinning the other way.
Yay. We're all gonna be dizzy for a while, eh? And we're gonna be 5 pounds lighter. I keep going on that point, right?
5
That means I
pounds
can
lighter.
eat more.
Boom on, rawhide. 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 Equator.
You there?
0.095. 0.04.
That's 2 minutes to go across the equator. And we all get our shellbacks.
Is this your 2-minute call?
Dominical!
Attention campers. Keep your hands and feet inside the windows. Their bears are hungry. We're going to switch from pollywogs to shellbacks. 0.01.
0.01.
It's counting down.
And counting.
5, 4, 3,
2,
1,
1.
0. Equator!
Woo! That's awesome!
In our next episode, we land in San Cristobal, but not without a hitch or two.
My pants have been on the Maiatla since I sailed to San Francisco from Lady Smith. Needless to say, I got a wet bum.